Good evening, and welcome. I gotta mute this. That's gonna drive me crazy. Here we go. There, that's better. Good evening, and welcome to the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. Tonight we are live from Studio Vanguard. We are linked in with the following repeaters:
Lula, McDonough, Flagship, Columbus, Peachtree, Noonan, Toccoa, Rome, Watkinsville, Zebulon, Ocala, Dallas, Salicoa Ridge, Cades Cove, White Oak Mountain, Lookout Mountain, Fort Mountain, and now I've lost my place. Cades Cove, White Oak Mountain, Fort Mountain, Mount Roosevelt, Lookout Mountain, Georgetown, Ottawa, Chattanooga, and of course our VoIP service, Zello.
You have to look all the way around the map to be able to pick all those out.
Well, yeah, and then it's easy to lose your spot. So
Yeah, I could imagine. It would be cool if there were a list that we could look at that would just show us, a sequence of the repeaters that are currently active. But maybe we'll have our tech guys take a look at that and come up with something for us. But wow, what a list of repeaters! It seems like there's a lot of them. How many repeaters do we have now?
all of them.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard to count them all on that map now, isn't it? Well, there's a couple of them on the map that don't count. All right, so like the core servers, those are not actually repeaters. Those are actually core servers, and the location for the core server isn't where the server actually is. That's just a location that we kind of randomly picked on the map. Also, another random pick on the map is the Zello. The Zello interface. So where does the Zello show up on the map? It's like in...
It's out by Lithia Springs.
Yeah, Lithia Springs. There's not actually a repeater at Lithia Springs. That's just the spot we picked for Zello. So the Zello machine, the interface isn't really in Lithia Springs. It's kind of a a virtual experience. So it's not really anywhere, but it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
So there you go.
Well, I just did a count. And if you include a couple that are not on the map, 24 is the number.
So those are not on the map because they're not currently linked, or...
One is not currently linked, and that's in my backyard, Blue Ridge, and the other is the Monument repeater.
Okay.
Also not on the map. Intentionally, we might add.
Right. Because it's kind of the same location as Flagship. Monument and Flagship are physically on the same tower, using the same antennas with a combiner, and so their performance should be very, very similar. I think that Flagship has probably a little more power through the combiner, but not a lot. So
Does it have the same ears?
It's the same antennas, yes. So both the repeaters are using the same receive antennas, and both repeaters are using the same transmit antennas through the combiners. So yeah, it's a cool little feature. Gives us a little bit more coverage on a standalone repeater than Ballground offers. The Ballground repeater is still there, but it's changed frequency so that there's no interference between them. We chose to use the Ballground frequency on Flagship. Let me break.
Sorry.
We chose to use the Ballground frequency on Flagship because it was less likely to step on anything in the region. Although that less likely doesn't mean unlikely; it just means less likely. So it was kind of the best call we could make with what we have. So understand there is a little bit of intermod in some areas, a little bit of crosstalk, and I've heard people comment that they can hear Flagship on so many different channels. And that's not exactly what you're hearing. When you're in a location where you have good elevation and you can hear multiple repeaters on multiple frequencies, it's not necessarily Flagship. It's likely other repeaters that are coming through on whatever channel you're switching to. So Flagship is really only on one channel. But because it is a linked repeater network, if you're hearing the signal on multiple channels, it's because you're able to hear multiple repeaters, and that is a really good thing to have.
I'm jealous. That would be a nice problem to have.
It really
up
is.
Up in Salad Ridge, it's the opposite problem.
You have absolute silence until So so congratulations for those of you with that. But I just wanted to point that out. It's not that Flagship is talking on multiple channels. It's that you're hearing other repeaters in addition to the Flagship repeater. So maybe we should finish our introduction.
That would be good.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that tonight. Our RF coverage is a pretty big deal. This net takes place every Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. I'd like to thank everyone who has made the North Georgia GMRS the most expansive and active GMRS network in the country. That would be all of you. Your net control tonight is Atlanta 946, WQIR 514. My name is Justin.
And WRWM 344, Blue Ridge 63. My name is Mike.
And Atlanta 750, WRMR 367. My name is Jeff.
Congratulations on reading the repeater list this week without the mute on. That's progress.
Even a blind squirrel finds a note once in a while.
That's right. On the net, you can talk about your day's activities, radio equipment, or anything you think we'd like to hear about. We might like to hear about trick-or-treat adventures, or maybe Hamfest. This is a family-based network, so we encourage you to get your family involved. You may or may not want to include the trick-or-treaters as they come to the door. I'm probably going to suggest that we don't do that, but, you know, if they're covered under your FCC license, why not? Guest check-ins are welcome from anyone with a valid FCC call sign. Once the floor is open, it is permissible to address other members of the net by their name or tactical unit number. Your FCC call sign is only required when you sign in and sign out of the net. Also, you can tune in to our YouTube channels. Anyone that wishes to follow along on YouTube tonight, we are live streaming. And
I actually need to tune into our live stream. Whoops.
Oh, yeah, there could be comments, and we should try to respond to those. Their YouTube check-ins are a thing now, too, so that's something we'll have to watch for. And with that, I think we're going to our topic for the week. We have... tonight happens to be Halloween, and tomorrow, well, Saturday and Sunday, will be the Stone Mountain Hamfest. Tomorrow will be our setup day. Looks like I've got a couple of trips to make out there. So Vanguard will be going out there just as soon as I can get it situated and ready to roll. And then we'll drop Vanguard there on the grounds. We'll drop Vanguard there on the grounds, and we'll come back for some more materials and get back out there so we can get the tower stood up before we close out the day on Friday. So looking forward to seeing many of you out there on Saturday at the Hamfest. Wear your black shirt if you have one. If not, go ahead and order one. You can pick it up when you get there, and we'll look forward to seeing many of the North Georgia GMRS members at the Hamfest. All right. Mike, should we continue on with check-ins?
We should take some more.
Oh, wait. Before we do that, we kind of need to check in with Kate and see if we can catch up.
Yes, good point. We should do that first.
Atlanta 751. Are you ready for our announcements?
I sure am.
Let's do it.
This is WRMR 367, Atlanta 751. Kate from high atop Mount Waleski, live in Studio C with this week's Catch Up with Kate, the latest GMRS sauce. GMRS news we can all relish. Be sure to tune in Friday night for the Friday Night at 9 Simplex Challenge. This week will be standard frequency testing with discussion following. All are welcome to attend. Early check-ins will start at 8 p.m. on the new Monument repeater. If you have any questions, reach out to Dana, Atlanta 250, or Jonathan, Gainesville 58. The Little Miss Radio Net is returning next week, Monday, November 4th. The topic will be Thanksgiving, Black Friday shopping, Cyber Monday sales, and whatever else you can think of. Check-ins will start at 7:30 p.m. with the net starting about 8. Let me break. And on Tuesday's Skyborn Net, please join us as we discuss our next topic. As cold weather settles in on us for the season, we believe this will be a great topic to train on. So check in and train with us. Have a computer handy to follow along. Thank you to Chattanooga 69, Ronnie, Chattanooga 84, Jim, and Chattanooga 118, my friend Stuart. I just have to say his name like that, especially it's Halloween. Everyone loves Stuart. If you watched Mad TV, you know. And let's not forget the ERC net on Wednesday. Remember, the ERC net is a closed net for ERC members only. Only those with an ERC TAC number may check in. For more information about the ERC net, call out to ERC Net Control at the conclusion of their net. Let me break. The Kennesaw Gathering meets at noon for lunch on the second Tuesday of each month at Old Town Tavern and Grill, located at 2500 Cobb Parkway Northwest, around the block from McCollum Airport. Please reach out to Ed, Atlanta 557, on the air or via email at Whiskey Roger, I don't know what Q is, or G. Let's try that again. WRQG806@gmail.com if you're planning to attend, so we have enough seats for everyone. The Chattanooga lunch is coming up soon, so get ready to meet the folks that you talk to. November 15th at Sugar's Rib, located at 2540 15th Avenue at 12 noon. Come out and join us all. Thanks from Ronnie, Chat 69, Jim, Chattanooga 84, and Stuart, Chattanooga 118.
She didn't say
In
his
other
name the right
news,
way.
join us at Stone Mountain Hamfest this weekend. North Georgia GMRS Network will be there with Studio Vanguard, our premier mobile communications platform, and the studio environment that our live stream content is produced in. Just one example of the state-of-the-art systems and equipment that make North Georgia GMRS Network the most advanced network in the country. Stone Mountain Hamfest is a great opportunity to meet many of your fellow North Georgia GMRS members, and something new this year, $5 admissions on Sunday only, and $5 boneyard spots. This may be the best attended Sunday at Stone Mountain yet. For those who are new to two-way radio, a Hamfest is a place where radio and accessory vendors come to display and offer some of their best deals of the year. Let me break. And finally, don't forget that memberships that are purchased now are good through the end of 2025. Current memberships need to be renewed before January 1st of 2025 to ensure that you keep your TAC number. Non-renewed TAC numbers are made available to new memberships, so be sure to renew before the end of the year. North Georgia GMRS Network would like to thank all of our contributors for supporting the network. If you have any questions, suggestions, or spicy announcements for us to catch up on, send me a note at kate@nggmrs.org, and please try to have your announcements in by Tuesday at noon so we have time to get them prepared to be on the air. We are North Georgia GMRS Network. This is WRMR 367, Atlanta 751. My name is Kate, and now back to Net Control.
All right. Well, thank you, Kate, for all of that. Appreciate all those announcements and lots of stuff going on. So if you missed any of that, well, you can go back to the YouTube and replay the announcements so that you can be sure that you've got all of the latest NGGMRS sauce. And, you know, one thing that I just kind of want to emphasize, folks, that we are seeing quite a lot of renewals come in. And so we want to say thanks for that. We're also seeing quite a lot of new memberships So our roster is growing. Go ahead and go to the nggmrs.org website and have a look at the current roster and some amazing numbers there in terms of growth for North Georgia GMRS this year. So thanks to everyone who has recently become a member, and also thanks to everyone who has been a member and continues with the renewal. One thing that seems to come up every year, folks forget to renew by January 1. And so what happens is if we don't see a renewal, then we assume that you've kind of run your course with GMRS and you've moved on to other things, and that's normal and natural. And we do see quite a few members that don't renew at the end of the year. We see a small number of those members are surprised when they learn that their TAC number gets reassigned. But the reality is, with the membership levels that we have, there's a significant demand for TAC numbers, and it's an opportunity for us to kind of purge the membership rolls and make available a new bank of TAC numbers for the coming new memberships that are coming in. So if you want to keep your TAC number, please be sure that you reach out to us and either make a renewal before January 1 or let us know that you intend to renew. If you're having some kind of a financial hardship and you just don't have the money right now, we can make arrangements, we can do something, but you got to let us know. So you can either send an email to gary@nggmrs.org and have a private communication with Gary, or you can send that email to justin@nggmrs.org and you can have a private communication with me. However, I'm going to have to convey that with Gary to be able to get that kind of thing covered. But if you need some kind of payment system, or if you need some help in getting your membership, we might have some scholarships available again. You got to let us know. If you want to keep your membership and you want to stay engaged and involved, renew by January 1. And if you can't, reach out to us and let us know. Let me break. And again, Hamfest. Vanguard will be there. We'll be located in front of the main exhibition hall like we were last year, and it'll be an opportunity to come and see the configuration of the vehicle and how it's laid out inside, and kind of tour what this is. It'll be a little bit different than it is right now because we'll be taking the boom microphones down. We'll be taking the cameras out because they're not going to ride very well. So they're going to get put away in their boxes and their cases so that they're protected, and they will be brought back out when Vanguard comes back here next week. But the monitors will still be on the walls. Well, I mean, they should still be on the walls.
Hopefully they're on the walls.
Yeah, 285. Who knows what will happen?
Fair.
But, hopefully the monitors will still be on the walls. And so come on out, check out Vanguard. We posted a picture of the rack, the equipment rack, earlier this week, and some people had some questions about that. It'll be an opportunity to take a look and see the various equipment in that rack. And if you have any questions about how things work or how things are set up, we can go over some of that too. So we've done some things differently in terms of audio and radio that don't seem to have been done anywhere else. You would think that there are AM and FM radio stations all over the country, so broadcasting and transmitting audio in the way that we do should be pretty straightforward, right? It's not. You can't do what we do. And when we talk to engineers about what we're doing, that's often the answer we get. No,
You can't do that.
you can't do that. But
we are.
But we are, and we do, and so we've found some ways to get pro audio level to the correct impedance and levels for radios, and we've found ways to get that audio out of the radio into a pro audio system so that we can hear your traffic and be able to work. So we're constantly looking for new ways to make small improvements, and we're constantly looking at the little upgrades, the little incremental things that we can do to make things sound and perform and be better. We're looking for network opportunities to make our linked repeater system perform better, and it's a constant research and development. There's projects in the works as we speak, and let me break. And these are things that we can talk about and perhaps help to understand the direction that things are going at the Hamfest. So definitely stop out and visit with us. We'd love to meet with you. Look, it's always great to be able to put a face with that voice that you hear on the radio, and the Hamfest is a great opportunity for that. Also at the Hamfest, and I would have to look at the schedule because it's been a few days, or actually probably 10 days since I've looked at it. There are a number of forums that are being held at the Hamfest, and these are opportunities to learn about various subjects within radio. There probably will be a fox hunt at the Hamfest at some place. So, Mike, can you tell folks what a fox hunt is?
A fox hunt, it's radio direction finding. And generally there's a beacon radio involved that serves as the fox, and it constantly, or I don't know how they'll have it configured, but occasionally will omit or transmit tones or other noises that you have to then direction find to its location.
Yes, and that can be a wonderful experience in terms of radio direction finding, learning how radio signals work, learning how you can attenuate signals. Like, for instance, when you get to a place where you're getting close to that signal source, and it doesn't seem to make any difference which way you point your radio, maybe if you take the antenna off of your handheld radio and you continue to listen, you can use your body to block the signal and still be able to receive it when your body is not between the source and your radio, and that can help you to get closer to the source. One thing to note: once you've found the fox, be low key about it, because other people are trying to find it too, and you don't want to spoil the movie for everybody else. So be low key about locating the fox, and let others enjoy that discovery on their own. All right. What else do we need to hit on before we go? Oh yeah, one more thing. Let me break. One of the things that we have found in operating North Georgia GMRS network for the years that we have is that so many people come onto the scene, and they buy their first radio or their first couple of radios, and it's disappointing to have poor performing radios, radios that seem like they do the job, but when you really get out there and try to put it to task, the inexpensive radios are just not what we would hope they would be. So because of that, we have formed Hobbit Communications. And Hobbit Communications exists solely to provide high-quality radios at reasonable costs for about the money that you're going to spend on your Wooshi radio. Or
wait, how did that go again?
I've never been clear on how to pronounce it. I understand that the N at the end is pronounced with a hard T sound.
Oh yes, yes.
And
I learned that from Jeff.
Yeah. So anyway, it's difficult for me to pronounce it. But those Chinese radios, for the money that you would spend on that radio, you could have a Kenwood, pretty close. They're close in cost.
Very comparable.
So you can have a great radio for the cost of a cheap radio. People talk about the great customer service that those Wooshi radios offer. And it makes me think that if they're so willing to give you a second radio when your first radio burns up, is it because you've already purchased two, but they just sent the first one? I mean, I just don't understand how their business model allows them to keep sending replacement radios and over again. So Kenwood radios come with a 3-year warranty, and it's a warranty you most likely will not exercise. So many of us walk around with Kenwood radios that are 15, 20 years old. These are used Part 90 radios that we found on the marketplace and have had them programmed and refurbished and brought to life for use in the GMRS world. And sometimes those radios can be found really affordably, but that source is kind of, it's been consumed, it's dried up, they're harder and harder to find. Well, now we don't have to find used radios. We can get a brand new radio from Hobbit Communications, and Hobbit will be at the Hamfest.
So Rome12 in the YouTube comments has the correct pronunciation for us. He said it is wax on, wax off.
That is good. I'm not convinced that's correct, but I think that conveys the specific radio that we're speaking of.
I think so. I think so.
But the pronunciation, I think, is very challenging. So it's hard for me to say that correctly. And even when I do say it correctly, it sounds like, well, I can't even go there.
Moving on.
Moving on. When we're at the Hamfest, if you ask me how to pronounce it, I will say it to you there, but I can't say it over the air. All right. So I think that's everything we need to cover. Jeff says I need a break. We're going to start taking check-ins. All right, let's go for another round of Zello check-ins. And as we mentioned earlier, one of the challenges with Zello is that sometimes when you engage the PTT with your phone, and I've experienced this a number of times, it's kind of frustrating, but if you don't press firmly on the screen, it will kind of bounce. And so it looks like you've made 6 or 7 PTT attempts, and the phone will put you in a timeout penalty for too many PTTs with no traffic. So that timeout penalty is why we leave a long pause waiting for any additional Zello check-ins. That's not an opportunity or an opening for radio check-ins. We want that pause to be there so that if someone is trying to get in with their voice over IP app, that opportunity is there. Each time somebody comes in with a radio check-in and Zello makes that attempt, and now we have another effort at a PTT that gets kicked out because there's traffic underlying, that sets that penalty timer over again. So we really want the RF traffic to not happen at all during the Zello check-in period. So if you're using a radio to check in, a radio of any kind, whether it be an HT, a mobile radio, a base radio, whatever that might be, this is not your time to check in. Your time will come very soon. Now we're looking for Zello check-ins, and Zello check-ins only. Net control standing by. If that guy would ever shut up.
This is Gunna 45 Whiskey Sierra Alpha India 254 checking in from Zello. Kai.
This is Atlanta 575 WSDH 694 Jason from Mableton checking in.
I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge the Zello check-ins, and then I'll go back and pick up all these YouTube check-ins.
Sure. For the mobile Kenwoods, it's the NX 1700? 1800? And what's the HT? 13?
It's on the webpage.
I believe that to be correct.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, radio users, for holding your traffic. Let me go ahead and acknowledge McDonough 45 Kai in McDonough with a Zello check-in, and Atlanta 575 Jason from Mableton with a Zello check-in. Also, we've got a list of YouTube check-ins. YouTube check-ins are in and out by default. We have a guest check-in from WRWB802 Larry in Colorado. Also, we have WQYU. Well, I don't need to read his call sign. It is Atlanta 60 checking in on YouTube from Noonan. We have another guest. We have WRZG694. Rick is a YouTube check-in. WRYQ727 Miko in upstate New York is a YouTube check-in. We have Atlanta 927 Connie in Buford, a YouTube check-in. Atlanta 256 Chuck is out trick-or-treating with Holly. What do you think Chuck dressed up as?
Chuck?
I don't know if we're allowed to say it on the air.
Well,
Love you, Chuck.
Lucky Chuck. All right. Well, we'll have to leave that one alone. We have WRKV 369 Ed is in Texas, checking in on YouTube. Also from Texas, we have WSEU 345 Moses. And from Rome, we have Rome 27 Terry in Menlo, checking in on YouTube. Those are the check-ins we have at this time. We'll continue with check-ins from any repeater other than Flagship. Net Control, standing by.
I think he's trying to socialize Holly with the kids. That's what he's trying to do.
This is WRVR 303, Jonathan from Hickson, Tennessee, checking in and out, and I would like to extend a welcome to all those people all over the country watching on YouTube. Good evening, everybody.
Oh, Jonathan, didn't drop your tack call.
This is WSFD 966, ATL 930, first time checking. This is Noonan 85, Bill, WSEY 290, checking in and out. This is Dakota 49, WREQ 444, Ron, located in Elberton, in and out, please.
Can you get me that last check-in, Jeff? I had to go look somebody up. And I missed it. That's the one. And he's out.
Last station checking in from the Peachtree machine. All static. Just no readable signal in there at all. But let me go ahead and acknowledge what we do have. We have Chattanooga 30, Jonathan and Hickson in with us tonight. Atlanta 930, Jack in Waleska is a first-time check-in. Is that? No, that's probably correct. I'm thinking of 9. There's some other 9-3 TAC numbers that I'm confusing here. But I don't know that we had a 930 before Jack. Jack, we've got you in the log as a first-time check-in. And we've got Noonan 85, Will in Noonan, in and out, and Toccoa 49, Ron in Alberton, in and out. Those are the check-ins we have. Like I said, there was one that came in on the Peachtree machine that was just unreadable all in. Also, we have a YouTube check-in from Atlanta 255, Jen in Dawsonville. Thanks for that check-in. Let's continue with check-ins from any repeater other than flagship. Net control standing by.
This is WRFF 255, Cade's code 47. This may be a duplicate, but I didn't hear acknowledgement on the check-ins earlier. I'm and checking out. I will be monitoring. This is Jason in Sevierville, Tennessee.
That was the station I couldn't hear earlier. I knew it was a Cade's Cove machine, but... Okay, excellent. We got him now.
One radio at a time, folks. All right, Cade's Cove 47, Jason in Sevierville. We've got you in the log this time as in and out. So if you did check in earlier, we may have missed you with a double or who knows. But we do have you in here now. Let's go ahead and continue check-ins from any repeater anywhere, including the flagship machine. Many people may wonder why we do flagship last and why does it get its own round of check-ins. Well, the answer to that is it is special. Flagship is it's our flagship repeater, and about half, or maybe even more than half, of our membership operates the flagship repeater. So what very often will happen once we open up check-ins to flagship is 2 or 3 people will try to check in at the same time, doubling and tripling on top of one another, making them all unreadable. And so we want to get as many check-ins outside of flagship taken care of as we can, and then save that flagship for the end. And this is where it becomes even more important when you check in to say, this is, unkey the radio and listen. If the airwaves are clear, key the radio again and continue your check-in. Repeating this is and giving us your call sign, your tactical unit number, your name, and your location. We ask for a call sign first because that buys us a little bit of time. We ask for your TAC number because we enter your TAC number into our logging system, and that will then pull up your call sign and your name and your region for us. If you're someplace other than your listed region that you register with North Georgia GMRS in, you can comment that, and we'll try to add that to our notes. But that's the reason why we set flagship aside and kind of do that on its own, because it is the most populated repeater on the network and is often the most challenging to get check-ins from. With all of that said, Net Control standing by for check-ins from any repeater anywhere, including flagship.
This is WRNR 684, Atlanta 1415, Timo and Sandy Springs. Happy Halloween, everybody. Tried earlier through PDK. I don't think I made the journey. Had to restart the radio. Hope I'm making it this time. Checking in and checking out. Thank you, everybody.
I haven't heard Timo in a while.
Yeah, I'm betting it is.
This is WRUX 823, Atlanta 1193, Travis in Dunwoody, Georgia. Happy Halloween, everybody. Checking in and checking out.
Checking in. VUSEH 971, Tacoma 60. I don't know if I got through earlier.
I think I got
checking
him.
in, checking out. Happy Halloween, everybody.
No, I didn't. Dr. Steve.
This is WQUV 439, Atlanta 780, Houston, Austell. Check me in and out, please, sir. This is WRB 762, Gainesville 44, Joe in Cleveland, Georgia, checking in and out.
All right, let me go ahead and acknowledge this round of check-ins. We have WSFN364. TJ is a YouTube check-in, and he's listening on an SDR.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. We have Gainesville 88, Mike in Gainesville, another YouTube check-in. We have Atlanta 1415, Timo in Atlanta. Yeah, I'm betting, Timo, that you were the static that we heard on the PDK repeater, and but we got you in loud and clear on that check-in. So glad to have you along, and thanks for the Halloween wishes. We have Atlanta 1193, Travis in Dunwoody, in and out. Toccoa 60, Steve in Baldwin, in and out. Atlanta 780, Houston in Austell, in and out. Gainesville 44, Joe in Cleveland, in and out. And a couple of YouTube check-ins. We have Atlanta 104, Brian, Social Circle. We also have Atlanta 766, Jeff in Monroe. And we have a guest check-in from WRYH 989, Bob in Massachusetts. Glad to have you along with us. Halloween City of America.
He's in Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. Well, enjoy the Halloween holiday. And that's what Julia's doing. That's why we didn't get any tips tonight.
Yep.
Julia's enjoying the trick-or-treaters. She's up there with our life-size operation game with Frankenstein, with the kids taking out the little plastic bones and organs. And if you hear car horns honking in the background, and we're not in the middle of a parking lot, that's the noise that the game makes. So life-size game of operation. I should grab a picture or two and post it. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. All right, let's go ahead to the top. Anyone who was trying to check in and didn't make it for whatever reason, there'll be another opportunity for late check-ins when we get through the roster here. So we'll take one round of late check-ins at the end of the program. But for now, let's head to the top of our roster. And it looks like we have Atlanta 403. Bobby at the Vortex. Bobby, you plan on going to the Hamfest, and what did you dress up as tonight for trick or treat? Probably, I'm betting he dressed up as a CERT volunteer.
No, I didn't dress up tonight. I'm just over here at the Vortex enjoying an outstanding dinner. And I just want to say, you and Mike wore tremendous costumes tonight. I can't believe it. Yeah, you guys are outstanding Halloween costumes you guys wore tonight. But, yeah, I'm definitely going to the Hamfest. Me and Joe will be down there Saturday and probably Sunday, too, to help you guys out at the end. And, Yeah, no testing this year. I'm a double general extra, so I don't have to worry about it. I can actually enjoy the Hamfest. But,
The double general extra.
yeah, Halloween-wise,
Double
I don't get many
general
people
test
by
wise,
me.
so-
I'm down in my salad bowl, so yeah, kids don't come down that way. So, but yeah, good show tonight, and we'll see you Saturday morning. You have a good one. WRAT 241, Atlanta 403. Unless you have other questions for me.
All right, Bobby. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you Saturday, and
Yeah.
we'll definitely have to. For those that are planning on coming on Saturday, at 1 o'clock, I'd like to gather as many North Georgia GMRS members as we can right there by the booth, and I want to get a big picture of members, whether you're in a black shirt or not. I'd like to just gather as many of the members as we can right there in front of the North Georgia GMRS booth and get a photograph. So
you're saying I should bring my camera?
that's a great idea, but I think even an iPhone photo would be good for the purpose, because probably we'll ask someone who's not a member to snap the
To take
shot.
it?
Yeah.
Well, good news, Bobby. Justin and I will both be in our same Halloween costumes on Saturday.
Yeah.
Dressed up like radio nerds.
I have more than one of these, shirts. So, yeah, it'll be a black shirt. It may not have T-shirt stuff on the back, and then again, it might. So we'll see how it plays. Probably wear the polo on Saturday and a T-shirt on Sunday, but who knows?
It'll depend what's clean. I'll either do the polo or the rabbit hole.
Yeah, no, the rabbit hole's a good choice. I like the We the People shirt too.
That's a good one.
I think that's my favorite.
Maybe I'll wear that one.
Yeah, and
Given
I've
the
got
timing
a couple of with Studio B on the back. Those are also. I got so many favorites. So,
well, you're going to be there 3 days, so a different shirt each day.
yeah. I can wear a black North Georgia GMRS shirt 7 days a week and still have clean shirts in the dresser.
I think you do.
I do.
Even when I see you on off days.
Yeah, I pretty much do. Yeah. I don't know what's the matter
Have you
with
seen
me.
him in anything else?
Well, the one he's got on probably needs to be retired.
I have a few that need to be retired, but
Those are the best ones.
yeah.
Bobby, look forward to seeing you Saturday.
All right, with that, we'll continue on. Next on the list, we have McDonough 22, Tim in Stockbridge. Tim, did you go trick-or-treating tonight? And do you have any Hamfest intentions? I know that travel sometimes is an issue.
Good evening, everyone on the net. No, I do not have any plans to make it to the Hamfest. One of these days, might make it up there. Like as you said, it's a little bit far to travel for me, and it would be pretty strenuous to be out there all day, doing that with my mobility issues. So maybe next year we'll wait and see. But as far as trick or treating, no. I have lived where I have lived here for 34 years, and not one trick-or-treater has ever knocked on my door. And now it's even less likely that they would, because the new owners of this property have built a fence all the way around it and put an iron gate at the end of the driveway. So not expecting any ghouls or goblins here tonight, or any trick-or-treaters for that matter, or anything else. So anyway, but it's, yeah, I feel pretty safe living here. I really do. But no, I just sitting around here, just got through whipping up a big batch of potato salad, and to munch on the next few days. I got a pile of dishes and pots and pans to wash now, and utensils. So I'll throw it back to net control. That's about all from Stockbridge down here today. Back to net control.
Good stuff, Tim. Well, I'll tell you, if you did decide to make that trek, let us know, and we've got a spot where you can occupy a chair and be able to not have to worry about being around all day. Yeah, so you can see a lot of the Hamfest from right there in the main exhibit hall where our booth would be. And if you wanted to take a trip around the boneyard, I'm sure we could make that happen in one form or fashion.
Yep.
Probably get you a seat on a golf cart for something like that. But in any case, If you choose not to come, maybe another time. But that's pretty cool. A gated community. I didn't realize that you had that kind of prestige. I had other, you always have this mental picture of where people live or what they, and that's not. I didn't picture him in the estates, with a gated community, but that's good to know. Yeah. So good stuff. All right, Tim. Well, take care of yourself, and we'll look forward to catching you on the air if we don't see you in person. It was great seeing you in person at the barbecue last year. Hope you're able to make that happen again. That's probably, if you had to choose, I think that's your better choice, because it's an opportunity to see a lot of people, and there's a lot of people to spend time with, and I don't get to spend time with as many as I'd like, but you do have at least an opportunity to share a meal with somebody and have more conversation than you might have at a Hamfest. All right, next we have WSCQ915, Chris from Pine Mountain. Chris, you do any trick-or-treating tonight? And it's a bit of a haul from Pine Mountain up to Lawrenceville, but love to see you at the Hamfest. All right, no response from WSCQ915. So we'll go ahead and show Chris as in and out and continue on. Next on the roster, we have Atlanta 93, Brian in Lawrenceville. Brian, do you think you'll make it to the Hamfest?
I am making that to a major intent, even though I've got a perfect excuse, because Lawrenceville is also holding one of those events where you can take things that are not recyclable, like paint and computer monitors and computer chassis, and do a recycling event. So my wife and I will be heading that way, and it just so happens that right next door happens to be the...
Oh, the recycling thing's happening in that other parking lot.
Is that where it is?
I think
at
so.
The fairgrounds?
Yeah. I think the timeout timer got you, Brian, but you were talking about the location of the recycling event?
It's on.
We lost you there, Brian. Were you talking about the location of the recycling event?
The location for the recycling event is at the Davis Road entrance, I think it is, for the recycling event. It is at the Gwinnett County Fairgrounds.
That is the same entrance for Hamfest.
Very good. I believe last year the recycling was in the, would that be the east parking lot? And the recycling event was in the east parking lot, and then the Hamfest entrance was on the Davis Road side. But maybe they're doing recycling on the Davis Road entrance this year. I'm not quite sure how that works out. But that was why we couldn't use the east parking lot, because we've used that for years and years and years in the past. But I actually prefer the Davis Road entrance. Turning in off of the that expressway there can be a little bit dicey at times. People tend to travel fast on that road, so the Davis Road entrance, I think, is a better choice. But in any case, that's fantastic. An opportunity to get rid of some recycling stuff. Don't tell Julia. She'll have me pack up a whole bunch of stuff. I've got enough things to carry anyway. But yeah, that's good stuff. Good to have those in the same venue. And I guess, some of the hams that come to the Boneyard could potentially stop at the recycling event on their way out if they didn't sell their stuff. So good stuff. Looking forward to seeing you there, Brian. And good deal there. Next, we have Chattanooga 84, Jim in Hickson. Jim, did you go trick-or-treating tonight?
That's about as good as I can.
WRKK 69, Chattanooga 84. No, I just went in the bathroom, looked in the mirror, scared myself, and ate a piece of sugar-free candy. I don't get any trick-or-treaters. I'm on a real fast, active road, so any parents with any common sense would not let their kids walk on that road. Other than that, just enjoying the net. Thanks for doing it, and I hope to see you Saturday.
Fantastic. All right, Jim. Well, we'll plan on seeing you Saturday. And don't forget 1 o'clock for that photo at the North Georgia GMRS booth. I'd love to see a big old crowd of us. What I'm hoping for is that we have enough people that we kind of block the aisleway and spill out into the corners, and nobody can get through for the 5 minutes or so that we're taking our photo.
Black shirt takeover.
The black shirt takeover. That's right. Yeah. So good stuff. All right. Well, then we'll see you there. You could bring your Halloween costume on Saturday if you wish, but it isn't required. But I think Mike and I will probably have our costume. Are you coming on Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be there Saturday.
Yeah. So we'll have
I'll have on my costume.
Our costumes on. So
and I won't forget the hat this time. For those of you that were subjected to that on the live stream last week, I apologize.
Yeah, so good stuff. Will it be a chicken hat?
It will. It will be the chicken hat.
Yeah.
Our friend Ed, Atlanta 557, has a question in the comments about the Hamfest entrance. Just to confirm, it is the Davis side, right?
Yes, I believe that is
for this
correct.
year. I think that's what I saw, Ed.
Same entrance as last year. And I'm not entirely sure. I would have to look at the recycling notes to see what their entrance is, but that was why we kind of transitioned to the Davis Road entrance, was because the recycling stuff had kind of taken over that lower parking lot on the east side.
I do for the horn honking. I have the horn honking.
Oh, so the trick or treat thing that's going on in our driveway. Go ahead and punch that up. Is there any audio with that? Ah, very good. So I don't know if anyone can hear the horn honking in the background, but that is the life-size operation game. And for those of you on YouTube, you can get a view of it. There it is, and you can see how that operates. So Frankenstein, you got to get the bones out, and if you touch the side or the bottom, just like in a regular operation game, if you touch anything that you're not supposed to, then the nose lights up, and instead of a buzzer, we have a horn. It's a car horn. So that's what you're hearing in the background.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Kids are up there with their trick or treat. I think if they successfully extract an object from the operation game without setting off the horn, then they win a full size candy bar. And if they unsuccessfully do it, they also win a full-size candy bar. Jeff, did you get a candy bar while you were up there?
I didn't get a candy bar either, but...
I did not get a candy bar, but I was more so concerned about getting the video for Mike to put on the live stream.
So there it was, and...
Julie wants to do Halloween karaoke next year.
As long as it doesn't fall on a Thursday night.
Not sure how that works, but okay. Yeah. So
Julie and Mom are both out there saying that next year she wants Halloween karaoke. I don't know how that works, but that's what they want.
Well, you got 364 days to figure it out.
Let's break. All right, with that, Jim, we're going to continue on. Next, we have Atlanta 277, Greg in Tucker. Greg, are you out trick-or-treating tonight, and do you plan on coming to the Hamfest?
You want to come back to this guy right here? Are you done?
Yeah, this is Greg, Atlanta 227, and I've already been to Hamfest. I was out there today helping set up. I actually run the back gate for you guys coming in tomorrow, starting at noon. I'm the guy in the U-Haul at the back gate letting all the vendors in. So, yeah, I had a really good day setting everything up.
got the back gates set up. We've got the flea market set up. All the tables have been set up inside the exhibit hall. And looking forward to getting out there about 0800 tomorrow and getting some radio set up. And we'll be welcoming vendors in the boneyard, in the exhibit hall, and in the flea market area at noon tomorrow.
All right. Well, fantastic. I'm going to try to be there somewhere around noon tomorrow with Vanguard to park that in front of the exhibit hall like we did last year. So you can look for me. And is it the same as it's always been? Because I don't have any kind of tickets or pass or anything. Typically, we get that when we get there. So is that the same as it's always been?
Yeah, pretty much. I'll be sitting in the U-Haul truck at the back gate letting you guys in. If anyone gives you any static, just tell them to ask for Greg. I'm the guy in the U-Haul that kind of gives the yay or nay. So, yeah, it won't be a problem.
Fantastic. You know, I think here in Vanguard, there is at least one, there might even be two of the lanyards that didn't get turned in last year. So we'll be turning those in so that they can be reused for this year's event. So if you're short a couple of lanyards, I can give those to you tomorrow or Saturday. I might not be able to get to them immediately tomorrow, but at some point we'll get them dug out and I can get those returned to you.
It's nice to know you know a guy, though.
Yeah, it sure is. So good deal. So this is something that we often don't think about, all right? Greg was there today, and he's going to be there tomorrow, and probably he's going to be there Saturday and Sunday. Hamfest events like this require a significant amount of effort ahead of the game. So it's not just a matter of showing up on game day and having the event. There's meetings, there's planning sessions, there's budgeting sessions, there's marketing, there's all kinds of things that have to happen leading up to the actual event. And Greg, can you give us a kind of an idea of maybe how many days or weeks that you've been engaged in planning and preparing for this year's Hamfest?
Oh, yeah. I mean, generally within 2 to 3 weeks of Hamfest, we generally have a hot wash. You know, the executive committee has a hot wash, and we go over, you know, what worked well, what didn't work well, and, you know, our aspirations for the future. That usually happens, 3 or 4 weeks out. And generally, we start our executive sessions generally during the summer because we have to get all the advertising planned out. We have to make sure the food vendors are going to be there. We try and visit all the local Southeast Hamfest. We usually have people at those Hamfests in the Southeast region, you know, reaching out to vendors anywhere from major vendors like the anchor vendors like, you know, Yezu, ICOM, Kenwood, reaching out to all those people, and then we're even reaching out to their boneyard vendors and their flea market vendors. We usually have a few people that go to Orlando. We really do make a full effort, you know, trying to get all the vendors and, you know, all the attendees out to our Hamfest.
Yeah, so there's a tremendous amount of work that happens behind the scenes that we don't even see or really even think about leading up to putting on an event of this scale. And you'd mentioned Orlando. I've been to the Orlando Hamcation, and I've been there a couple of times. And it is a nice Hamfest. They do have more main exhibit hall space probably than Stone Mountain does. And they certainly have a larger boneyard area. They have some outdoor forum areas, you know, under roof that are. It's a nice space. They have a really nice laid out area to conduct a Hamfest in. But I'll tell you, in my mind, the Hamcation Hamfest in Orlando is really not any better than the Stone Mountain Hamfest. I think this is a hidden gem in the Atlanta region. We have a premier, high-quality event that we should all be very proud of that is being held right here in our backyard. And I think that compared to Orlando, we might be a little bit smaller, but it is every bit as well organized. The food is probably better. The vendors are much the same, although they are different. We have local or regional vendors that come here that don't go to Hamcation, but all the big vendors, HRO and Kenwood and Yazoo, are going to be at Orlando. But you know, I guess my point is that we shouldn't take this event for granted, because of all of the Hamfests throughout this general area, Stone Mountain Hamfest is the crown jewel that we have. It is the best Hamfest in the region, and I think we should be proud that it's right here in our backyard. And Greg, I'd like to say thanks to you and the Alfred Memorial Ham Club that put this event on, and you know, it's a high quality event, and I'm looking forward to being a part of it, and I hope that the North Georgia GMRS membership is as well.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for the flowers. Yeah. Even we even go to Huntsville. And we have a table at Huntsville every year. We try and get everyone to kind of come out to our place, and we absolutely welcome North Georgia GMRS to our Hamfest. You guys have a big presence there. You guys have a lot of technology that a lot of the hams could really learn from.
Yeah, it's very good stuff, and yeah, we do things a little bit differently. Vanguard is, I think, pretty unique in the communications world. The way that we operate is different than most amateur radio nets, and we're all here just having a great time. This is nerd out time for us. We get a chance to engage in technology in a fun way. And we've learned a lot along the way. I mean, we've learned a lot of ways that you can't do what we do, and we've learned how to make it work anyway. But good stuff. All right. Well, we're looking forward to exhibiting Vanguard and being there and sharing GMRS radio with the amateur radio community. And it's the same thing. I've often mentioned that GMRS is a gateway into other radio habits. That's right there behind me. They talk about the gateway drug. Well, GMRS radio is a gateway into other radio habits and hobbies. There's in GMRS you can do voice, and you can do repeaters, and that's really cool. And having the linked network that we have really fosters a terrific community. But that's it. If you want to do other things in radio, then amateur radio is where that happens. And there's just no end to what we can do in how we can apply radio to other activities. If you're into racing, well, whether it's go-kart racing or whether it's a 10K foot race, there are countless ways that you can employ radio into that. There's telemetry stuff that you can put on a vehicle to be able to track the vehicle around the course and be able to monitor lap times and performance parameters. There's two-way radio that you can use to communicate with the driver. There's radio that we can use to track runners on a road course and do timing and be able to specifically indicate who crossed a finish line when. And when you've got very, very tight finishes, sometimes the transponders are really the only way that you can tell who actually won. So all of these things kind of come from are related to amateur radio. Amateurs are involved in all of these activities and provide auxiliary communications for many of the 10K events that are happening, the 5K races and stuff that are happening in our communities. the Peachtree Road Race is always driven by amateur radio, and they have recently been asking for GMRS volunteers at those events as well. So I think that that the doors between GMRS and amateur radio are becoming more and more open, and the fellowship between the two communities is starting to happen, and that's a good thing. Let me break. And I think that that as new and oftentimes GMRS operators are brand new to radio, and that's just fine, because that's kind of expected, and that's where we want to bring people into the radio room and get that exposure. But when you've learned what you're going to learn in GMRS radio and you're still hungry for more, then that opportunity comes from amateur radio. So we've always encouraged our members to pursue their amateur license, and we've always kind of pushed that, and so Stone Mountain Hamfest is a fantastic opportunity to test for your amateur license, and if that's something that you're interested in, we would love to hear if anybody from the network here that tests and passes at the Hamfest. And if you don't pass, that's not a big deal, because you can test again at the next event, and there will be lots of opportunities. For instance, if you're just now thinking about this and you want to pursue an amateur radio license, it's too late to start studying for this one. Dalton is in February, and so that gives you 3 months to study for. And Dalton is the place where you can get your free salad. We'll talk more about that later. But good stuff, Greg. Glad you were able to participate tonight. And let's go ahead and move on. Next, we have Atlanta 938 Don right here in Woodstock. Don, are you with us tonight? Are you out trick-or-treating? And, well, if you're right here in Woodstock, maybe you've already seen Frankenstein out there at the end of the driveway.
Yes, sir, I'm listening.
You plan on making it out to the Hamfest this weekend?
I'm going to really try and come in on Sunday. Check it out. It'll be my first Hamfest.
Awesome.
Very good. And that's a great point too, Don, because you mentioned Sunday, and Greg, we didn't really talk about this, but Stone Mountain Hamfest is doing something a little bit different this year, and that is that on Sunday, if you come on Saturday and you buy your admission ticket, that's good for Saturday and Sunday. But if you come on Sunday, you can get in for $5, and that $5 admission ticket will also allow you to have a spot in the boneyard. So if you've got stuff that you want to sell, you can do it for $5 on Sunday only. So if you're planning to come on Sunday, your admission's going to be a little bit cheaper, and we look forward to seeing you. If we get a decent gathering on Sunday, we'll take another picture on Sunday as well. But maybe we should just plan for that.
Do it both days. Why not?
Yeah. Maybe do an 11 o'clock picture on Sunday and a 1 o'clock picture on Saturday.
So I don't think we've said it yet, but I'm on the website for the Stone Mountain Hamfest. The times for Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and for Sunday, it's 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you're planning on coming out, those are your windows for both days. I don't see it for Friday.
Yeah, Friday is vendors
Just setup day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so there won't be any general admission on Friday.
So 8 to 4 and then 8 to 2 on Sunday.
All right. So very good stuff. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday, Don. Be sure to come to the North Georgia GMRS booth and introduce yourself, and look forward to meeting one of my Woodstock neighbors at the Hamfest. All right. With that, let's continue on. We've got McDonough 45 Kai down in McDonough. Are you going to come up to the Hamfest?
Good evening, Net Control. Good evening, everyone. I'm back on RF now, so hopefully I'm still sounding okay. I'm going to try and make it. I know that I will probably be up there for the Native American Festival, so I'll probably be able to swing through. But, it's going to dictate on what's going on with the family. Other than that, nothing going on too much. I tasked my adult child with bringing my smaller child out for trick-or-treating, because we haven't had trick-or-treaters in probably a decade. I don't know if the driveway's too long or because I'm the only one on the block with a street light. But either way, they're having fun out there, and hopefully I see you guys this weekend if I'm out there. Back to you, Net Control. This is McDonough 405. I'll be clear.
All right, Kai. Well, I hope that you can make it work out and have a chance to stop in, if nothing else, for a little bit. And hopefully you can be there for the 1 o'clock picture on Saturday. We're going to ask folks to gather at the North Georgia GMRS booth, and we're going to try to get a group photograph. So we'd love to have you there. We'll post that picture up on the Facebook page too once we have that. So you have a chance to see some of the faces at the Hamfest. And if you don't want to be seen, then you probably want to stay away from the booth at 1 o'clock. Yeah. So I mean, Jeff, you definitely don't want to be anywhere near the booth Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Or our witness protection friend.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Who always dodges the camera.
Yeah.
Although I have gotten him in several at this point. I've gotten him to let me.
Yeah, I think the witness protection story is bunk, but it's a good story. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story. All right. Well, good to hear from you, Kai, and thanks for checking in. Yeah, and you sounded fine on RF, so and you can check that out on YouTube playback if you want to. Next, we have Atlanta 575, Jason in Mableton. Jason, did you go trick or treating tonight? And you planning on going to the Hamfest this weekend?
I don't know if you want to go back up to Mike Gothier. I didn't get an in and out for him. It's possible he's not there, but
No, did not go trick or treating. That's because I was taken out to my birthday dinner. Today's my birthday. I would love to go to the Hamfest, but unfortunately, I've got plans, so I will not be available to go. But I have got an interest in getting my amateur radio license. So yeah, I wish I could make it out there to that, but unfortunately, I won't.
All right. Well, as we mentioned, if you can't make it to Stone Mountain Hamfest, the Dalton Hamfest will be in February, and that'll be a good opportunity to. You've got plenty of time between now and then to study, and that'll be a good chance for you to go ahead and take your test at Dalton, and we'll probably be at Dalton as well. I don't know that Vanguard's going to go. Probably we'll just be up there with a canopy in the boneyard. Let me break. But if you take your test at Dalton, the test is actually held off of the grounds at a nearby restaurant, and it's a buffet style restaurant. So if you pass the test and you purchase a buffet, you can get a free salad with that buffet purchase.
There we go.
Well, Mike,
I'll never live that down.
Mike would love to tell you more about that. So if you have any questions, just ask Blue Ridge 63, aka Free Salad.
That's where the name comes from, indeed.
So good stuff, and so we'll likely miss you at this one, but hopefully we'll catch you at the next one. You said that I missed one, Mike. Was it Atlanta 958? Mike in Dawsonville.
I didn't get an in and out on him when he checked in, but thought we'd at least give him a shout and see if.
Did I skip right past him? Is that what
we did? We did.
Okay. All right, Mike, Atlanta 958. Do you have any comments for the net? Did you go trick or treating? Any trick or treat stories? And do you plan on coming out to the Hamfest?
Yeah, God, it was Halloween until I was listening to the early check-ins driving home from work. But yes, I do plan on going to the Hamfest. I was hoping to take my test. I think I'm probably still going to give it a shot, but I didn't study nearly as much as I want. Of course, the week that I was studying is when work decided to become very crazy. I'm not going to make it on Saturday, but I've got some softball commitments with a young team I'm coaching, and my daughter, she's going to come help out. She plays in college at the moment, so it's going to be kind of a fun day on Saturday, and then hopefully I'll get there on Sunday early. Give a shot at my test, pass, fail. We'll see how I do, and kind of enjoy Hamfest. Yeah, it was a good time. The last time I went to a Hamfest many years ago, so I'm looking forward to Sunday.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I believe they're only testing on Saturday. Let me see if I can find that here while we're talking. Mike, do you know if they're testing on Saturday and Sunday?
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Hold on a sec. Let me click back over there.
Yeah, I'm kind of scrolling through it. I'll have to dig deeper to get an answer to that. Yeah, it's
Ham
not.
radio exams. Exams for all licensed tests are from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, and from 9:30 until 11:30 on Sunday.
Well, fantastic.
So
All
both
right.
days.
But no free salads.
But no free salads. But on the flip side, it says here there's no charge to enter the Hamfest if you are only coming to take an exam. However, you may only enter up to 30 minutes before the exam session. So if all you need to do is test, you pay your $14. That's the exam fee that they have listed here, and you're good to go.
Oh, that's
But you might as well hang around.
Well, yeah, I and it's only $5 on Sunday, so you know, I would it's worth the $5 just to walk around the boneyard. And if you're brand new if this is your first Hamfest, and a couple of people have mentioned it, it'll be their first. If you've ever been to a swap meet for automotive stuff, that's exactly what it is, but instead of car parts, it's radios, radio accessories, computers, flashlights, electronics, stupid stuff, dog collars sometimes. It's just a flea market / swap meet for radio nerds. The other thing that you can get out of the Hamfest is an opportunity to kind of see and learn a lot about radio, and you'll see some old radio stuff out in the boneyard. You may be able to find old tube radios, some of the old AM radios from way back in ancient history. And a lot of those are working radios. And it's pretty amazing how that older technology can still be very functional and quite reliable. Not as susceptible to things like EMP as solid state electronics are, but it's a whole rabbit hole we could go down with. but there's just an opportunity to learn from radio people that have just a vast array of experiences and knowledge about all things radio, and it can be quite the experience. So I highly encourage people to go. Just if nothing else, just go for the experience of the boneyard. I love to go out and spend time in the boneyard, and I try to make a point of doing that at every Hamfest. In my mind, the boneyard is more interesting than the flea market part of the Hamfest. Let me break. In my mind, that's more interesting than the exhibit hall. But the exhibit hall is where the premier vendors are. So, that's where Chat Radio is going to be. That's where Hobbit Communications is going to be. Tower Electronics is one of my favorite vendors. So if you're looking for an SO239 to N adapter or a PL259 to N adapter, male or female, you can find that adapter there. If you're looking for weird pass-through barrels with threads and nuts and stuff, you can find it there.
Barrels?
A female to female connector.
Oh yeah.
So like for instance, in my early days, I had set up the radio station in a bedroom, and I had used a piece of plastic board, PVC board, that just raise the window up, set the window down on top of the board. Got a couple of holes through that board with those barrel connectors in it to pass radio antenna cable through that window out into, but the window's still closed.
Yeah.
And you can run grounding through that. You can make all of your connections and still be able to have a closed window. You can stuff some foam in at the top of that window, and you can put a stick in there so it can't be pushed open.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make a secure pass through without doing any damage to the house or anything that's permanent. And so you can set up a radio station in a bedroom, and when you remove that radio station from the bedroom, it can be a bedroom again without without having to repair anything.
You don't get in trouble with the wife that way.
That's right. Well, not very much trouble. But
less trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess the issue was the grounding rods, but they're gone now too. So,
no, there's all sorts of cool vendors there, and every part that you could imagine, and plenty that you can't. Little odds and ends for miscellaneous projects. We've got a lot of DIY people in the group that are members that like to assemble portable stations and backpacks and all number of power connectors and batteries.
If you have a Go Box, they have a Go Box competition for, if you've assembled something that's unique or capable of things that maybe other Go Boxes aren't. You can enter your Go Box.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Into a competition, and they have different categories based on what the capabilities of your Go Box might be. But you can enter your Go Box in a competition to see how yours stacks up against some of the others.
I know McDonough 4.5's ears are perking up right now.
So yeah, definitely bring that and see what's there compared to what's available. Jeff, do you have any comments about the Go Box competition?
No. Are you going to bring your Go Box, Jeff?
No, I'm still sour about that whole thing. That was 2 or 3 years ago.
So we had.
You should break.
Yeah. So a bit of history before Vanguard came to be. Jeff and I and some other volunteers put together, kind of the proof of concept for Vanguard, and that was something that we called Studio G, and Studio G still exists in a portable flight case. It's got caster wheels on the bottom of it, and it's a rack. Many of you saw the picture I posted on Facebook with the rack that's right here in Studio Vanguard. A very similar rack exists for Studio G. It does not have a repeater, but it has the same 2 radios in it. It has the same mixing console that Vanguard has, and it has a really nice DC power supply to power all of that equipment. It has the same LED light towers that we use in here that you could probably see over Jeff's shoulder if that camera angle ever comes to be.
I'll point it over.
Yeah, there it is, right behind Jeff.
Oh, he
so
doesn't have the
you
camera
see
on.
the red light is lit up on that tower at the moment. That changes colors based on the state of the radios at any given moment. Yellow is standby. Green means that we're receiving traffic. Studio G was where we pioneered that concept, and many other things. It's also where we learned a lot about what you can and can't do in terms of getting audio from the electronic levels of pro audio into the electronic levels for radios. So
did you take that out to the competition?
We did. Studio G went to the competition, and we won.
I'm sure that's why he's sour.
We didn't. That was not considered a win. That was a participation trophy.
Oh no.
We won. There were three competition classes, and that particular year we were just bouncing back from COVID, and there were only 3 entries into the Go Box competition.
So they specifically put everybody in each category intentionally so that everybody won.
Yeah. So we all
wasn't
won.
even voting.
We all won in our class.
Well, yours was probably the biggest.
It was a participation trophy. It was not a win.
Yeah. So anyway, we did win the Go Box competition one year. We've not re-entered since. Okay, so where are we at? Who's next? Looks like Chattanooga 3-0. Is that right?
Yes. Chattanooga 3-0.
All right, Chattanooga 3-0. Jonathan in Hickson. Did you go trick-or-treating tonight?
I haven't been trick-or-treating for 50-plus years. I think by the time I got to 14, they told me I was too old to be doing it. But I did grab a handful of candy out of the bucket on the at the cash register at CVS, if that counts. not going to the Hamfest. I was hoping to make the Chattanooga Hamfest, but I was under the weather with a tinge of COVID, so I didn't make that. If I was to go to Stone Mountain Hamfest, well, I'd have to take a day off work tomorrow first so I could go rob a bank, because otherwise I'd spend all my money. It's about all I got. Maybe someday I'll make Stone Mountain, but next year I'm definitely going to make Chattanooga. Back to net control.
No, yeah, I think Chattanooga's on the books for all of us for next year. So we're planning on bringing Vanguard back to Chattanooga again, and I'm hoping that when we go back to Chattanooga, they'll be at a new venue. I know that's in the works. I don't know where that's at, but I'm excited about seeing the new venue for Chattanooga Hamfest. Next, you talked about spending all your money. And I'm guilty as charged. Last year, when I went to Stone Mountain Hamfest, I intentionally went without any money. I think I had $30 for lunch. And while I was maneuvering around to find the parking spot for Vanguard, I stumbled upon a vendor that had a lot of 8180s.
Oh.
And 880s. And 7180s.
But you can't buy those for $30.
I almost could. I think I might have been able to. I think I could have gotten a radio, but probably not one of the better ones. But as I'm looking at this, thinking, okay, how do I come up? Because I don't have any cash. I got lots of money. I just don't have any cash. How do I make this happen? And as I'm thinking about how do I make this happen, I look over my shoulder, and here comes Atlanta 60. Uh-oh. My opportunity to buy a cheap radio.
He's going to buy them out.
And he did. He bought all
he
bought all the radios that would work for GMRS, and he took those radios back to the shop and did his usual bit where he cleans them up, he tunes them up, he programs them and makes them available to the membership. He might still have an 8180 or two. I don't know for sure that he does. But if that's a great GMRS radio, and if that's a radio that you're in the market for, you might ask and see if he still has one. They are great radios, but they were priced appropriately. That vendor had all those radios, and he just wanted them all gone, and so Gary was able to make a heck of a buy, and so when he does that, the proceeds. The difference between what Gary bought it for and what he sells it to the membership for, all of that money goes in to help us to buy antennas, to help us to repair repeaters, to help fix grounding issues that we have at sites if we have them. That's just another way of supporting the network. So it's a great opportunity. I don't know that we'll find that again because that market, excuse me, for that class of radio has really dried up. But good stuff. All right, Jonathan. Well, I guess we won't look for you at the Hamfest this year. Protect your pockets and make them available for Chattanooga, and we'll see you at Chattanooga next October. Let me break. That'll bring us next to Atlanta 930 Jack in Waleska. First time check-in. Glad to have you along. Are you planning on trick-or-treating tonight? Maybe it's over. I'm not hearing a car horn anymore. Trick-or-treating might be finished for this year, but maybe that's why people are coming back. And do you think you'll make it to the Hamfest this weekend? All right, we're going to go ahead and show Jack as in and out. Not hearing any response. And that brings us to almost to the end of the roster. We've got a couple of YouTube check-ins to acknowledge. We have WSDW 299. Sam in Ringgold is a YouTube check-in. And we have Chattanooga 69, the Velvet Elvis, checking in on YouTube from Las Vegas.
Now that's the end of the roster.
That's the end of our roster now. So at this time, we'll take late check-ins. And anyone with questions or comments, go ahead and call out your TAC number, your call sign for any comments that you might have. And Net Control will stand by for one round of late check-ins, questions or comments.
Hey, this is Maureen from Oklahoma, Atlanta 956, WRMM 689, checking in after 2 years.
This is Atlanta 622, WSDT 898, Marvin and Covington. Sorry about being so late, but the trick-or-treaters expected candy, and I had to be out there. Trick-or-treating's over here, and hope everybody had a great night. I am clear. This is WSDB540 Alfred in Stockbridge, Georgia. Been listening to the net tonight while I'm trying to program my new radio, and sounds pretty good. Enjoyed it, and looking forward to getting old more. No TAC number. I'm saving up my pennies and just about got enough saved, so it won't be too long. I'll have a TAC number.
This is Atlanta 958 with a question. I have a daughter who's getting interested in radio who lives in Cartersville. What would be the best repeater for her to try to use? Would it be the Dallas or the Rome repeater?
I would probably guess Rome.
Depends, though. If you're close to 75 in Cartersville, Rome won't reach there.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. Net Control is going to go ahead and acknowledge this final round of check-ins. We have Atlanta 956 Maureen from Bristow, Oklahoma, checking in by way of Zello. Maureen is a lifetime member that, due to family circumstances, had to move out of the area. It's great to hear you back on the air, and I'm looking forward to a conversation with you, Maureen, in the next few days and catch up on things. So fantastic, and glad to have you along tonight. Hope that you found us on YouTube and are checking that out as well. Next on my list of check-ins here, I've got Atlanta 622 Marvin. Just finished up with Trick or Treaters in Covington is in and out. Atlanta 964 Richard is a YouTube check-in, and WSDB 540 Alfred in Stockbridge is in tonight as a guest check-in. Alfred, one thing that I'd like to encourage you with is that if you purchase a membership between now and the end of the year, that will cover you for the remainder of 2024 and all of 2025. So it's a great time to make that. And so once you get your pennies all saved up, go ahead and make that purchase when you can. For the rest of us that need to renew, your renewal isn't really due until January 1. But if you don't renew by January 1, there is a risk of your TAC number being reassigned. So it's good to get that in early. And, of course, if you renew now, that will work for your 2025 membership dues. So good stuff. And, Alfred, I'll be coming back to you here in just a moment. Next, we have Chattanooga 190 Cliff in, let me try this again, Kalioka.
You got it.
Is a YouTube check-in. Glad to have you along tonight, Cliff. In Atlanta 958, Mike in Dawsonville. Just to answer that question quickly, and we'll come back to you to if you have any follow-up. But to answer that question quickly, the Rome repeater would be a really good choice, I think, for that area. But depending on specifically where in the Cartersville area, you might also have success with the Fort Mountain machine. Dallas will be a good option in the future.
Yeah.
But right now, Dallas, the antenna is in a temporary low altitude position, and its coverage is just a very small portion of what it will be once the tower is erected. So
I've got it on the chat from our friend Rome12 Mark that Fort Mountain, as you said, and then also Flagship. Mark says he works in the Cartersville area, and those work 90% of the time.
Yeah, Flagship does cover a lot of Cartersville. The times that I've been there, I just don't even switch off of Flagship. You can kind of hear. I don't know about getting into Flagship so much, but I can hear Flagship in the Cartersville area, at least the parts that I go into. So, yeah, that's probably also another good option. So it might be that you just need to take a radio over there and see which is your best option. But Flagship, Fort Mountain, Rome, I think are going to be best coverage options. But with that, let's move back to Atlanta 946, Maureen, and check in with Oklahoma. How are things out west? Cello.
My connection just kind of went out. Things are doing really well. We didn't have any of the bad weather we thought we would have, and so far we've bypassed most of the fires. It's been a drought season out here.
Ah, very good. You may have heard about some of the weather over this way, and particularly to the east and to the north of us. Some of those areas got hit really, really hard and are still in recovery. We have about 100 miles of railroad that we hope to have open in the next 60 days. Some of the challenges that we're facing with reopening that line is things like resources. We can't currently get enough ballast to replace all of the ballast rock that has been washed out from under that railroad. And we're also looking at probably a shortage of railroad ties, because there's about 60 miles of that railroad that needs to be completely retied. It was a devastating storm, not just for the railroad, but for the communities throughout that region. And we're still not really fully recovered through parts of that, and probably won't be for some time. Truly devastating storms. But, check out, there's a rabbit hole net on YouTube, and you can learn a lot about what took place if you watch that episode of the rabbit hole that was live streamed a couple of weeks ago. Great episode, and there's a lot of interesting information about disasters, and in particular disaster recovery and volunteering in some of those efforts. So, some of the things that we thought we were doing good by contributing supplies, it's really not. Supplies is really not the main issue. It's logistics and distribution and money. Money is the bigger thing. That all the supplies that we think we want to send diapers, we want to send water, we want to send canned goods. Okay, well that's all good stuff to send into a disaster region. But what about gasoline for generators? That's not really a practical thing that you can send to a disaster area, but they need that. They need that desperately. And because the utility system has been wiped out. And so watch that episode of The Rabbit Hole on our YouTube channel. You can learn a tremendous amount about what actually happens in disaster recovery, and the things that are vitally important are very different than what we thought. If we take a couple of cases of water and drop them off at church, we're good, right? Well, I mean, it's not that we're saying not to do that, but not only do we need to drop off the water, but there needs to be some cash that can help get that water delivered, not just to another church's parking lot, but from that point out into the disaster area where those families really need it, because they may not be able to get to the church to come pick up the water. So good stuff, Maureen, and glad that you were safe from the storms. And man, it's just crazy, crazy stuff out there. So let's move next to Atlanta. I'm sorry, he's in and out. So our next is going to be our guest, WSDB 540 Alfred, brand new GMRS user. And Alfred, do you have any comments for the net?
It's been fun listening to you while I was trying to program my radio. I've had HTs here, and I've talked to you on the rabbit hole, but not much. I was wanting to get my bass antenna and everything up, but I finally got it, this channel working. I got to program some other repeaters in to try to see if I can reach them with this antenna system. But I enjoyed listening to everybody tonight, and looking forward to becoming a member.
Well, very good, Alfred, and we're looking forward to having you as a member. And we've seen a lot of new members and a lot of new licenses come to GMRS. So something is driving an interest. I think probably it's the storms, and it seems to be the case. Whenever there's any kind of a big disaster around the country, GMRS participation always goes up, and memberships come with that. And it's not necessarily a good thing. I mean, we appreciate all the new members. We appreciate the interest in alternative communications, and we think that GMRS is a great platform to do exactly that. But beyond that, it's not just about emergency communications. It's about relationships, and that's one thing that we've found that in this area of radio, two-way radio, many of the folks here have found relationship with lifelong friends, and one of the things that we've seen kind of happen out of that is there are pockets of areas within the membership where people will gather and get together for a regular lunch gathering or a regular event gathering of some kind, and there seems to be a hunger for that within the network for face-to-face relationships that come from the desire that came out of the radio. And I think that's one of the things that may be a little bit unique about GMRS radio. I really treasure and value the fact that we have so many good relationships that have come from this. And a lot of people talk about GMRS radio, this community, as being a family to them. A lot of helpful people here, a lot of people that will put in personal time and effort to help you succeed and get your radios programmed and set up. Any assistance you might need in antennas and things like that. A lot of times you can find help from the membership and get what you need to get going. So good stuff. And welcome to the network, and welcome to you and all of the first-time check-ins and first-time brand new users and those that are yet to come. So good stuff. With that, let's continue on. We have one comment from Atlanta 958 Mike. Did we answer your question? Do you have any follow-up questions?
No, thank you. That was helpful. She was able to hear flagship pretty well, but we couldn't hear her when she tried to transmit. But it's a work in progress for her. I'm just very glad she's a young girl in college and she's got interested in some tech. So that's kind of cool for her geeky dad. So hopefully she keeps up with it. But thank you for the response and the answer. Atlanta 958 clear.
Comment, McDonald 22.
All right, Tim, we'll come to you here in just a second. Mike, I'd just like to make mention that we have another family with a young college student. Atlanta 933 would be Dwayne. In Atlanta 935 would be Claire, as a college student up in the Chattanooga area. And Claire has been a guest on the program, and she has been an outstanding radio operator, serving at the North Georgia GMRS Jeep Fest event back in September, October. When was Jeep Fest?
Beginning of September.
Yeah, beginning of
Labor Day.
Day weekend. So Claire has been a lot of fun to work with, and so you might have a mentorship opportunity there with the Wallace family. So just be on the lookout for that. McDonough 22 Tim in Stockbridge. Go ahead with your comment.
Yeah, guys, I was just going to say, now, I did experience a dropout a little bit ago, but I heard a check-in from a lady, Atlanta 689, I think it was, Jana. I did not hear her acknowledged or hear her called on. I don't remember if she said she was in and out or in, but she was kind of right in the middle of that last batch, and I never did hear her number called. But like I said, I did experience a short dropout, but I didn't think it was that short or that long. But anyway, just wanted to let you guys know that, and if I missed it, due to the dropout, then I'm wrong, but it was 689.
All right. Jeff tells me it's probably because I hit the timeout timer, but no, we did not hear Jana. Atlanta 689, so we're going to go ahead and add Jana to the log. And let's call out right now and see if Atlanta 689 has any comments for the net. Jana, welcome to North Georgia GMRS. And did you have any comments for the net? Did you do any trick-or-treating or have any trick-or-treat tales to tell? And do you think you'll be able to join us for the Stone Mountain Hamfest this weekend? Somebody got firecrackers for trick-or-treating tonight. All right. Not hearing any response from Atlanta 689, but we do have Jana in the log. So thank you for that relay, Tim, because we did not hear that.
Yeah, appreciate that, Tim.
At all. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. This will conclude the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. Tonight we had a total of
70
chickens tonight, including net control. We will now be returning the repeaters back to normal use. Everyone who signed in should sign out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, comments on the YouTube video shows engagement with the video and helps the channel grow. Thank you for allowing us to serve as your net control this evening. Good night, everyone. This is Atlanta 946 WQYR 514. My name is Justin.
And this is WRWM 344 Blue Ridge 63. My name is Mike.
And Atlanta 750 WRMR 367. My name is Jeff.
We are North Georgia GMRS Network.
And we are clear.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.